Uh, Hello there, I'm Thomas Hatsios, a British American pilot flying the Boeing 777-300ER tonight's flight. We're going to be overflying Zurich, Switzerland, Germany, then coming back to the Zurich International Airport runway 14 for an ILS localizer landing. So right now I'm in the cockpit for the pre-takeoff preparation of the PMDG simulation and Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Boeing 777-300ERX. I'm going to start showing you the cockpit instruments, the displays and the functions of the Boeing 777 300 ERJ aircraft. I'm gonna start with the primary flight display. The displays um, the airspeed indicated, the airspeed selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel, the ground speed, the radio altitude above the ground level, the magnetic heading and track, the magnetic north pole and the true north pole, and magnetic variation depending on where we are in the world. We have also um, the barometric altitude above the sea level and the barometric pressure of the outside atmosphere, the altitude selected from the autopilot flight director system panel, and the rate of climb, the descent of the aircraft in hundreds and thousands of feet per minute, the vertical speed indicator that also determines the angle in degrees, the stiffness of the angles in degrees the aircraft climbs or descends. We have also the attitude indicator, the pitch ladder in degrees and the bank angle in degrees. Also, we have the pitch ladder in degrees, the bank angle in degrees. We have the ILS localizer, the horizontal localizer and the vertical flight slope, the needles and the crossbars. We have the flight director crossbars for manual guidance of the aircraft and the autopilot crossbars for automatic guidance of the aircraft. We have also the angle of attack of the aircraft as it flies and the flight mode annunciator. As you can see with the autopilot and the auto throttle later on vertical navigation mode. We have also the navigation display. The navigation display that displays the inertial reference, the GPS position of the aircraft, the terrain and weather reflections from the weather radar. You can see the elevation of the terrain around you with the red, yellow and green color. Also the airports, how far away they are, the waypoints, the nav aids, the ADFs. So you can see the nav aids. You can set up also you can see also the other aircraft that fly around our own aircraft. So you can see um, the other aircraft, how far away they are, the altitude difference they have with our own aircraft, the distance and the direction, and also the airspeed they have. So we use the transporter, the ADSP and ADSC transmitter receiver that transmits our own frequency to other aircraft and the air traffic control, and also receives from other aircraft and displays all these the air traffic, displays the traffic collision and alert system, the TCAS system warnings. So you can see the other aircraft with the diamond shape, and you can see the distance, the altitude difference, the direction, the airspeed they have. So this is generating generates the TCAS system, traffic collision alert system. You can see here we have the primary flight display with the flight mode annunciator, the airspeed and the altitude here, the vertical speed indicator, and here is the navigation display with all this information. Also the navigation display we use to create a flight plan. We're gonna use the flight management computer, so you can see the flight management computer here and here, the left and the right. We have a backup one here, and also use the autopilot and flight director system panel here. I'll show you how. So we'll use the flight management computer, the FMC and CDU, the control display unit of the flight management computer. We can input all the data of the aircraft. We're gonna select the departure, airport and runway, and we're gonna create a complete flight plan. So we're gonna use when we create the flight plan, we're gonna use the data of the aircraft for takeoff, like the takeoff weight that includes the empty weight plus the passenger plus the cargo plus the trip fuel plus the taxi fuel plus the reserve fuel. So we're gonna have the takeoff weight of the aircraft for this flight. We're gonna have also the flaps I'm gonna use for takeoff, like 15 degrees for this flight. and this is gonna make a calculation using the flight management computer about the mean aerodynamic chord of the aircraft. That is the mean aerodynamic chord of the forward wings, the Mach, that is a percentage of the chord of the wings. So this will also determine the center of gravity of the aircraft position, and the horizontal tail, the trim stabilizer position for takeoff and then for flying. The aircraft also, as we fly, changing the attitude of the aircraft, the airspeed, and the configuration. We're gonna have a different horizontal trim stabilizer setting. So we can do this manually or automatically using the autopilot and flight director system panel, which also has the auto trim function. And we can do it manually over here using, I'm gonna show you the control for controlling the horizontal tail trim stabilizers. So also you're gonna see the flight management computer. So we're gonna have all this, we're gonna have the takeoff speeds for this flight, we're gonna have the V1, V-rotate and V2 using the flight management computer, and then I'm gonna input all the data of the aircraft. We're gonna select the departure runway. The flight management computer has all the data of the runway stored in its data page, like the runway length, the runway slope, the elevation of the airport, the barometric altitude. We have also the temperature of the air pressure, the air density, and the wind direction and speed, and the runway condition, if it is ice, dry or wet. So we're gonna have the V1, V2 and V-rotate. V1, V-rotate and V2. We're gonna have the takeoff speed, and then the flight speed. So also we're gonna use the seats, the standard instrument departures. We're gonna use the route planner of the aircraft. We're gonna make a flight plan or route or flight path for the aircraft from takeoff to initial climb to cruise, then descent and approach. So we're gonna have the complete flight path of the aircraft in vertical and horizontal profile or flight plan or route. We're gonna have also, this is gonna guide the autopilot and flight director system panel in the LNAV and the VNAV function of the autopilot and flight director system panel. It's gonna take it's gonna send all the information into the autopilot, the flight management computer. So we're gonna select the seats, the standard instrument departures that include the initial waypoints and fixes, horizontal and vertical for the aircraft for the initial climb after takeoff. Then we're gonna have the intermediate waypoints and fixes, and the destination, the intermediate for initial climb to the cruise level, cruise, and then to descend, and then to descend we have the stars at the terminal arrival, the horizontal vertical waypoints and fixes to the destination airport and runway. We're gonna have also the Lszh localizer, the horizontal localizer, and vertical glide slope. You're gonna see the needle also in the primary flight display. So this is gonna tune the frequency of the instrument landing system of the runway. You're gonna select for landing with the heading either magnetic or true geographic. So you're gonna see also that. So also we're gonna have after that I'm gonna show you the autopilot flight director system panel over here, the FDS. So you're gonna see the autopilot and flight director system panel. I'm gonna show you the autopilot engage and disengage switch, the auto throttle left and auto throttle right engage and disengage switch. Also the flight director engage and disengage switch. We have the airspeed select knob. We can select an airspeed in nautical miles per hour, knots or Mach speed, and select the modes for that, like flight level change, climb continuous, and the auto thrust with the speed mode, and also the LNAV and the VNAV. So you can see here we have the autopilot flight director system panel. You can see the airspeed guidance, the heading guidance, the vertical speed guidance over here, and the altitude select guidance, which is the main components. Also the autopilot engage and disengage. I'm gonna show you. So in the airspeed select mode, we can select the modes for the initial climb and then flight, and this is gonna give the commands to the engines, to the thrust levers, using the FADEX, the full authority. These electronic control computers, one installed per engine gearbox, dual channel redundancy. The FADEX controls the engine functions. So you can see the engine rating also in the upper and the lower ACAS, also displayed by the FADEX over here, the upper and the lower ACAS. You can see all the, I'm gonna explain you later, the indications displayed here about the engines. So this commands the engine's thrust over here and the position of the thrust levers automatically using the auto throttle system. So you have the auto throttle on, this will move automatically. You can disconnect the auto throttle here. I'll show you later, pressing this switch and take the control of the thrust levers manually. So you're gonna see also that, and we have two main modes. We have the General Electric 90G 90 turbofan engine installed in our Boeing 777-300ER aircraft, and we have two main modes. We have the fixed thrust mode for takeoff climb, and also for descent, which is an idle thrust, and the takeoff is maximum continuous thrust. So we're gonna have the fixed thrust mode in climb or descent, in which the thrust is fixed while the airspeed is being adjusted by varying how fast the aircraft climbs or descends, by varying the horizontal tail trim stabilizer of the aircraft commands, or the elevator of the horizontal tail of the aircraft. You're gonna see either one, either automatically or manually by using the flight controls. You can do that either way. So this determines the steepness of the angles of the aircraft climbs or descents, how fast the aircraft climbs or descends, and also the airspeed in the fixed thrust mode. So we have another mode, the variable thrust mode, when the aircraft cruises in horizontal flight path, like in the cruise level, or when it's in approach and landing configuration. We also have the variable thrust mode, in which the airspeed is being adjusted by varying the thrust commanded to the engines by the autopilot system panel here, or the flight management computer settings or whatever. So, or using manual thrust. So I'm gonna show you also the manual thrust here. You're gonna see you can see the speed brake is being also extend when you have the thrust levers at idle, and also retracts automatically when you move the thrust levers above idle. So you have it extended. So you can see, I'm gonna show you also the flight controls here in a couple of minutes, and the other systems, the radio communication panel, the landing gear, the flaps and the slats, the horizontal tail trim stabilizer I talked to you about, the aileron trim, the rudder trim. You can see the horizontal tail trim here. I'm gonna show you the fuel flow to the engines. Over here, the overhead panel, the electrical, the left and right engine, IDG, the great drive generator, electrical, the APU, the auxiliary power unit, the ADIRU, data news, the reference unit, the hydraulic system, pumps, left and right engine, the backup, the C1 and C2, the air pressurized electric pumps for the hydraulic fluid. We have also the passenger oxygen, the rammer turbine. We have other systems. We have the APU and cargo fire extinguishers. We have electronic engine control for the engines with the auto start system. The fuel jettison, we can dump fuel to lose weight in flight, and the fuel booster pumps the fuel tank, left and right wing, center tank, and the crossfeed valve for wet and aft. And we have the cabin pressurization system, the wing and engine anti-ice, the lighting system, and also the bleeder, the pressurizer from the left and right engine. We need high pressurizer from the left and right engine, also from the APU, the auxiliary power unit. So you're gonna see also that. For cabin pressurization, wing and engine anti-ice, air conditioning and ventilation, and also hydraulic fluid pressurization over here. We need pressurizer. Also for starting the engine, we're gonna use you can see the batteries here. I told you the electric generator IDC, and we're gonna use the APU to start the engines for electric power and pressurizer. So you can see all the air data here, data and the airspeed, the barometric altitude, the magnetic north or true north, the GPS position, and the artificial horizon with the attitude of the aircraft. All this has been controlled by this small switch you can turn on and off, and also the GPS receivers and the position of the aircraft. Using the inertial reference system, you can turn on and off this small switch via the over here, and then set up the GPS position here of the aircraft. So I'm gonna show you now the flight controls. I'm gonna show you the flight controls and what I use to control the flight controls of the aircraft. I'm using this iStick, the Logitech Extreme 3D. So I'm gonna show you now how I control the aircraft in flight using this control column and control wheel and the rudder pedals, also the nozzle steering in the ground. So I'm using this over here. So hope the lighting is correct. So I'm using this here. You can see. So you can see here we have the horizontal tail here, up and down for climb like this, or descend like this. Also bang rolls left and bang rolls like this right. So you can see the horizontal tail, and also the ailerons and the spoilers, the left and the right wing for bang rolls. Also we have the rudder pedals over here. You see the rudder pedals left and right, the vertical tail of the aircraft. So we have a full control of the aircraft in flight like this. You can see the side stick deflection, both left and right yokes, control column and control wheel are simultaneously the same. Also the rudder pedals the same position. Also we have the horizontal trim over here, the horizontal tail with this small switch. You can trim down or trim up and see the horizontal tail position over here in degrees. This determines how stable the aircraft will be in flight, using the horizontal tail to balance through the center of gravity in the forward wings and the engine's thrust. So this way you need to balance all the forces in flight. So you can see the side stick deflection is proportional to the yoke deflection. Also you can see I'm using these thrust levers here. So I'm gonna show you again, because we had a problem with the lighting. So you can see I'm using these thrust levers here. You can see the thrust levers, and I'm using this over here to slide up and slide down the engines. You can see how reactive it is. You can use simultaneously the flight controls while flying to control everything, the flight path of the aircraft with the engines thrust commanded. So you can see we have full control like this for the flight controls. So I'm gonna show you now also the horizontal trim over here, hope you can see. So you can see here again the flight controls I'm using. Now I'm gonna show you a little bit of the outside view of the aircraft. I'm using the flight control with the outside view, like the tail, the vertical tail, and the ailerons and the spoilers. You can see the ailerons and the spoilers in the left and the right wing, like this, left and right, and up and down. So you're gonna see now the outside view. Also So you can see the speed brakes, the ailerons and the spoilers. How we can make turns in flight, turn left and turn right. So we can also have the horizontal tail up and down, very important. As you can see, we can climb like this, and we can descend quite fast. Maybe needs like a second to go up and down, full movement. Also the bungle and the vertical tail. As you can see, the rudder pedals like this. So you climb and make turn like this. You have full control. So I didn't forget to mention the rudder pedals like this. Make turns left and turn right. So we have also the nose wheel steering, the ground I will show you. So I'll have to go now to the explanation of the systems. Before making anything, start demonstration and setting up the flight management computer. You're gonna see the whole flight from takeoff, climb, cruise, descent and approach. So thank you very much again for joining me in this video. I will continue now, proceed with the pre-takeoff preparation and the engine start. So I'm Thomas Hatsios, thank you for joining me in this video. I will start now with these systems. So you can see here we have also an aircraft coming in. So you can see here we have the primary flight display. You can see the airspeed indicated, the airspeed selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel, the altitude selected from the autopilot flight director system panel, the ground speed. So this is the airspeed tape, the altitude tape, the barometric altitude, the radio altitude displays -2, the barometric pressure 29.92 inches of mercury. You can see here how fast the aircraft climbs and descends in tens, hundreds and thousands of feet per minute. The vertical speed indicator also we have. You can see here an aircraft coming in, so we change here the view here in the navigation display. Look closer, you can see two aircraft. One is plus 2,600 feet, the other is plus 9,900. You can see the distance, nautical miles at 2010. So this is closer, much closer to us. We can have like 1, 2 again, 2 aircraft. So this is much closer. You can see the altitude difference. You can see also the elevation of the terrain around the aircraft. It's like plus 3,200 feet. Over here, some mountains. You can see the side of the aircraft. So we have this aircraft is like now almost 12 nautical miles away. It's 2,300 feet above us, so it's coming for a landing. So I will continue with the primary flight display. You can see here, as I told you, the airspeed indicator, the altitude, the vertical rate of climbing, descending 10,000 feet per minute. So when you're flying, you have to pay attention to all these instruments, the primary flight instruments, the pitch attitude of the aircraft in flight. You may have a positive pitch attitude like 5 degrees, but the aircraft might be falling down descending, so you have to pay attention both the pitch attitude and the vertical speed indicator, also the airspeed and the altitude, all of them. So also the bungle, you can see 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10 degrees. You can see the flight director of the crossbars, 12.5, 15, 17.5, 20 degrees, pitch up and pitch down. You can see the angle of attack of the aircraft as it flies in the flight mode demonstrator with the autopilot and the autoflow later on vertical navigation mode. So we have here the aircraft is coming closer. So it is like 5 nautical miles away. So we're gonna have also, you can see 5 nautical miles away. It's coming closer for landing. So we can test now this system here, the TCAS system. So you can see here we can set up and test. test the warnings and the functions. You can see this now is plus 600 feet, is between the 5 and the 2.5 nautical miles away distance frame. So it's getting closer, plus 400 feet above us. The arrow down is descending, and you can see the traffic. The warning now, we have it in front of us. So you can see displayed here in the navigation display, the diamond shape, and also here this coming for landing. So it's in front of us. You can see pass through here for the landing. So here we have it, just landed, and we still can monitor that. You can see the terrain elevation again different because different range. You can see 1800 and 2800 with yellow color. The magnetic heading and track over here, and the value selector, so we can use a different range now. You will see the scan again of the radar. You can see we have the magnetic heading and track. Now we have the true over here. We can select with this switch the north reference. Now we have the true north, the geographic north pole here, as you can see, true or geographic. Now we can select the magnetic again with this switch over here. So we can select also inches of mercury, hectopascals, meters, the distance, some other information like the waypoints. If we need, you can see the altitude now with meters also in feet, and we can set the values here that we have. So we can set the values here of the autopilot and flight director system panel. You can make changes, so you can see you can set up here we have the auto throttle left off. You will see the auto throttle left off over here, auto throttle left off. We have the auto throttle right off, auto throttle right off, both of the throttles off and on. So we have also other warnings. This is the upper ACAS and the indication crawler system display. We have the airspeed here, as I told you, the airspeed guidance. We can use the flight level change, and the flight director also off will cancel this mode. We cannot reconnect now unless we turn on the flight director here. The autopilot modes won't function, so we have to use the flight level change. This is what arms the autopilot, the flight director. So we can set up an airspeed for takeoff like 253. We can use either mode when we are flying, or we are for takeoff. We can use the LNAV, I believe, indicated airspeed or Mach heading track. So this is also the bang angle here of the aircraft. You can set in degrees, and you can select a mode or deselect like this, like 25 degrees. The heading, we're gonna set the heading for takeoff 136 degrees magnetic. Hold also the altitude over here. You can set the altitude hundreds of thousands, and then hundreds. So we have this. We have the other flight director, the other side. The warlock, the approach. So we have also, you can see now we have set this airspeed, this heading, and this altitude. Also we have hectopascals over here, 1013 hectopascals. We can set inches of mercury again like this. So we have the barometric pressure again corrected, and we have 253 nautical miles per hour heading hold, flight level change, speed, the altitude, also the meters. So we have 35,300 feet or 7,700 meters with this mode, heading hold and flight level change, speed, and the target airspeed. And you can see everything is ready almost for takeoff. Also we have The other mode, the altitude, you can set one mode at a time. You can set either altitude. Now we have the altitude with the flight director. We can set also the autopilot on here. You will see autopilot on like this. You see both autopilots turn on. Also both display the left and the right. So we have the autopilot on. You can see heading, hold, and altitude, target airspeed, target altitude. From takeoff, we're gonna have later in the runway. Also, we can set the flight level change with the autopilot. We can set also the vertical speed. I'm gonna show you flight level change, heading, hold, target airspeed, target altitude, autopilot on. You can see the difference here with the green light of the autopilot. Also, the autopilot is displayed here AP instead of flight director. And we have the vertical speed now. Over here, that determines the vertical speed indicators here. How fast the aircraft will climb or descend if we move the slider. Also, if we descend in the flight path angle, the FPA angle. Over here, -3.5 selected. So you're gonna see here vertical speed, flight path angle. So we have the target airspeed, target altitude, FPA. You're gonna see the pitch ladder here with the FPA displaying this pitch altitude in flight. So this is gonna make a descent from the cruise level if we fly like -3.5 degrees. You can see these purple arrows to indicate if you're gonna have a descent with this mode. So now we can make a climb. We'll determine the steepness of the angle the aircraft will climb now or descend. Now we go for climb. Turn the slider the other way. You're gonna have +3.5 degrees here. So the +3.5 degrees displays over here the positive altitude between the 5 and the 10 degrees. You can see the purple mark here on the left and right side with the pitch ladder. So now we can use the vertical speed indicator, the other mode. The vertical speed in 100,000 feet per minute. We're gonna make a descent like -3.5 thousand feet per minute. So you're gonna see now also the vertical speed indicator. Here you're gonna see heading, hold, vertical speed, target airspeed, target altitude, and you're gonna have the vertical speed descent here rate. So this is the rate -3,500 feet per minute. You're gonna see the needle moving down when you descend, moving up when you climb. I'm gonna show you now the other mode for climb to the cruise level. So you're gonna have the positive, the plus, not the minus. You can use also level off, like 0, like this. So this is level off. Fine level. So we have +3,500 feet per minute. So you fly straight and level with 0. So you have vertical speed, heading, hold, target airspeed, target altitude. You can see the vertical speed indicators here. +3,500 feet per minute. You can see the needle moving up when you go for climb. Also the bang angle, other modes. We have it here, the bang angle. So I'm gonna show you now also a couple more things. I think we did the most with the autopilot. I will show you how to disconnect the autopilot like this. So we're gonna have to disconnect the autopilot. So we're gonna show you the autopilot disengage now. So I'm gonna make first this. Maybe have a better view like this. You can see the autopilot here will go off. And I do it like this. It's approximately, this is the green light. If I turn off this, You see the warning here, the autopilot is connected to the primary flight display. You can see the autopilot disconnected with red here. So you have the warning reset every time you turn off like this, pushing out this, and you have the autopilot off as many times you want. Also, we can use another way to disconnect the autopilot. We have this switch here in the control wheel of the aircraft, so we press this one time, the autopilot is disconnected. Here you can see the warning here and here, autopilot disconnect with red letter, and press one more time to confirm the autopilot is disconnected. So we have a couple more things to show. We have also another aircraft coming in. You can show for display here. The radar scan again. You can see it's about 8 nautical miles away, plus 2,600 feet. The altitude difference. You can see the diamond shape of the aircraft is coming in. So we have also, I will show you a couple more things inside the cockpit if we have time. So I have to show you all these things. I'm gonna start with the thrust levers. I will show you the auto throttle, the disengage switch. So you disengage the auto throttle like this, pressing this switch over here, and you have no auto throttle over here, this switch. So we have also the takeoff ground. This is the left and the right engine thrust levers. Takeoff ground, thrust levers, the flap settings. You can extend fully or retract like this the flaps, which increase and decrease the surface area of the wings. You can see where the flaps are positioned here, now up or down, so you can extend again. You can see how many degrees you have extended. So now we have it 30 degrees. You can see flaps 30 degrees in the upper ACAS. Flaps 30, and it keeps moving down. It keeps increasing, so you see the flaps here fully extended in the left and the right wing, and the slats also. So we have also the speed brakes up and down. You can see the speed brakes moving up and down. All this here. So we need the speed brakes to slow down inside like this, so we can extend the speed brakes up when the aircraft has the thrust levers at idle. If thrust levers above idle, then the speed brakes retract. You can see also the engines here, the rating. So you can see the speed brakes retract like this. Speed brakes up. When the thrust levers above idle, we cannot. It keeps coming down. We cannot extend them. Only when thrust levers are idle, then we can extend the speed brakes. So we have the aircraft here coming in. The one we saw here, spotted over here. So you can see it keeps coming in. It's coming for landing. Another aircraft, the second one. So it's a good way to monitor other aircraft in the navigation display. See it for landing, it's a beam. So we have it here in the radar. It's plus it's the same elevation now with us, and we have the traffic, the warning here. So this is so much for the traffic. We're gonna see the other systems also. So I'm gonna talk to you about the flaps, the slats. This is the fuel flow, the left and the right engine, the fuel control switch, left and right, fuel cutoff. The fire extinguishers for the left and right engine, pull out and switch. The parking brakes over here, up and down. Also the horizontal tail trim stabilizer over here, the one I saw you before. You can set how many degrees you want the horizontal tail of the aircraft over here, this section, moving up and moving down in flight, not the elevator, but you can set it with the horizontal trim like this. And you can see how many degrees you have it. You can see the green band here, which is also for takeoff, nose down or nose up. Nose down if you want to descend, nose up if you want pitch up, climb. No, so we have it like 4.35 degrees for this flight. Also we have the rudder trim here, the vertical tail of the aircraft, the rudder trim, and the aileron trim. Here you can see the aileron trim position in this section here. So this is for the flight controls. I'm gonna show you also the horizontal trim, stabilizer, and the normal and the alternate. We have also the auto trim function from the autopilot here and the auto throttle. So we have a hydraulic fluid failure here, the C or the R, which is air pressurizer, receives pressurizer from the engine, so from the APU. We're gonna lose the automatic trim of the horizontal tail here. So we have to disconnect these switches, these red guarded switches, open CNR stub. You can see CNR stabilizer, normal and cut out. So you move to cut out, you disconnect from the autopilot and the auto throttle, the horizontal tail trim position. We have only the manual trim over here for the horizontal tail of the aircraft over here. So you have to do that if you have a failure of the hydraulics or other system. So we have also the normal and the alternate trim tab. So this is so much for the trim stabilizer, the thrust levers. Also I will show you the upper and the lower indication here, the engine indication, the upper and the lower ACAS, engine indication, control system. So you can see also the landing gear here, extend and retract. You can see the landing gear, the extend speed. You can set the landing gear up. You have the alternate, lock override, some other functions here. Also the flap speed here, where you can extend and retract the flaps, the auto brake, ejected takeoff, maximum. So we have the Boeing 777 here, all the indications, the total fuel on board, which is not related total to the engine, 46,600, temperature of the fuel, the bleed air, the pressurized air from the fifth in the United States, on the left and the right engine, the forward and the aft for the cabin pressurization, the rate of the cabin as we climb or descend. So we have the engines here, also send pressurizer for the cabin pressurization. We have the left and the right engine. You can see the indications, 104.6% maximum takeoff mode right now. We have the left and right engine. This shows the N1, which is the low speed. The N1 is the low speed starter and start, the low pressure compressor and turbine of the left and right engine. The exhaust gas temperature per engine. So now we have the engines at idle. And here is the N2. The N2, which is the high speed starter and start, the high pressure compressor and turbine of the turbofan turbojet engine, the fuel flow per engine per hour, 1000 kilograms, 1000 pounds, oil pressure, oil temperature, oil quantity, and the vibration of the N2 state of the engine. So if I move forward the thrust levers, you will see the engine's indications here increase. You can see the thrust commanded, maximum takeoff thrust like this. You can see the actual thrust, it takes like 3 seconds to increase in flight, so you have to anticipate when increase or decrease the engine. Takes some time from the actual to the commanded thrust. So we have also the other indications, pretty much the same. You can see the thrust levers up and down. We have totally takeoff ground, also thrust reverse. You can pull up this handle here and you use the thrust reverse like this. So this opens the bypass from the left and right engine. You can see the reverse now is been open, so you can see the reverse flow from the bypass here of the engine. This open these doors and reverses the flow, also extends the speed brake, so you can cancel this, retract, also open it again, the reverse. So we go, so this is only one landing after touchdown in the runway, or in our rejected takeoff. This time the thrusters like this. Also we have asymmetric thrust. You can use here one thrust lever at a time. You can see more thrust in the right than in the left engine. Also the other side engine, asymmetric thrust. If we need, if we have a failure in one engine, we use only the other one. So you can move thrust now in the left engine. So we have also the overhead panel. Maybe I have not much time for this explanation now for the aircraft. So for this flight right now, we have the General Electric 90G90 turbo-100 engines installed in our Boeing 777-300ER aircraft. One in the left wing, one in the right wing for symmetrical thrust and redundancy. Each one contains a gearbox. The gearbox has a paddock. Each one paddock the crew authorities electronic control computers. One installed per engine gearbox. We also have redundancy. One sound phase, the other takes over. Controls monitor display all the functions of the engine you see here in the upper and the lower aircraft. Like the N1, which is low speed turbulence, have low pressure compression rated by negative 100 engine, the exhaust gas temperature per engine. The N2, which is the high speed turbulence, has a high pressure compression rated by negative 400 engine. The fuel flow per engine per hour, the oil pressure, oil temperature, oil quantity, oil vibration of the engine, and shut down. And also as we climb and we descend the aircraft into higher and lower altitudes, we have different fuel and mixture requests down automatically by the paddock. So it's a good thing to have the paddocks installed into your engine. So now we go for the overhead panel here, the other systems. We have a few more minutes for this slide. You can see the overhead panel. You can see here we have the hydraulic fluid disconnect from maintenance in the ground, the circuit breakers, the electric system. We have also, we can set here we have the APU. We need to start the APU to start the engine, the ADIRU, the air dynamics unit, the thrust symmetry compensator, the bleeder from the 5th and 9th. Also, so we have the left and right engine IGC, the great drive generator, the backup generator. So this is all the electric system, the batteries of the aircraft, the passenger oxygen, the window heat, the rammer turbine, the hydraulics. Then off the hydraulics you will see what happens, the hydraulic pumps. So we're gonna have some failure. So you can see all the overhead panel of the Boeing 777-300ER with all the systems. So now we're gonna have the hydraulic failure because we turn off all the hydraulic pumps. So you see all the systems, the horizontal tail, the flight controls, hydraulic pressure, C, L, and R. You're gonna see LC and R. All the spoilers, auto brake, landing gear. So we're gonna lose many systems. When flying, it's good to have the hydraulics on. So we reset everything like this. Gonna see how nicely it's simulated. Now to the auto. Also, I told you the electric system, the cargo and APU fire, electronic engine control for the engine, normal and alternate mode, the auto start of the engine. Over here you can auto start the engine. You can dump some fuel in flight if you need to lose weight. You arm this and select the nozzle, how much fuel to remain. Also the left wing and the right wing fuel tanks. The crossfit valves, you can use the crossfit valves to balance the fuel between the left and right wing. You have a failure, the center tank is empty. We have only fuel in the left and the right tank. The wing and engine RDI is here. So this is also the lighting system, the windshield wipers. So we have also the cabin pressurization here. we need if we use manual to open and close the outflow valves as we climb and descend and select the landing altitude, so we use the automatic. And also we have the bleeder from the left and right engine from the APU, so we need the bleeder from the APU here to start the engine in the ground. So you're gonna have some failure now. You're gonna see some systems like the bleeder. You're gonna see the hydraulic here, some hydraulic system fail, pressure demand C1 and C2, and we're gonna lose the cabin pressurization system. So we turn on again the bleeder. We need for flying the aircraft. Also, I'm gonna show you here the flaps for takeoff. Ready, gonna use 15 degrees. So I'm going here, I'm gonna make the auto start of the engines. So I'm gonna show you the last page here, the flight management computer. For this flight also display on, so you can see the engines, the status, the hydraulic, the APU, the oxygen, the checklist. You can see the normal menu, what you needed before flight, reset. No normal menu, we have a failure of some system, communication, navigation, synoptics, the doors are closed, the cabin of the aircraft can be pressurized, the gear, you can see the temperature of the brakes and the pressure of the tires, the electric system, left and right engine, IDT 400 Hz frequency, alternate current 220, 200 volts, 128.7 volts, the batteries, the left and right, and the charger of the batteries, the APU generator is working, and the backup generator is also. Hydraulic fluid 3000 psi, it's left and right engine, the C1 and C2, where the hydraulic fluid goes. You can see the shut-off valves and the left and right electric and engine. The quantity of the hydraulic, the left and right wing tank, the fuel system, the center tank is empty with yellow crosses. You can see the left and right engine here fed from the left and right wing. Also the crossfeed valves balance the fuel between the left and right wing. We have 23,000 kilograms. The non-high pressure fuel valves to the left and right engine. The APU is fed from the left wing using the DC motor, and the minimum fuel temperature below which the fuel freezes. You can see also the bleeder, the pressurizer from the left and right engine. The APU, we need the backflow for the engine starter. Also, if we use more thrust from the engine, you'll see the air increase. Also the flight controls here, so we can use the last step here before flying. We have the flight controls here, so you can see everything is working. The tail, the wings, all surfaces are working, the flight controls, movement, and the stabilizer trim. So we have back to the engines here. I'm gonna make an engine start demonstration like this very quickly. We're gonna turn off both engines. So you're gonna see here some modes are changed. So you can see engine auto start, engine shut down. So we're gonna have the auto start now over here on. We have it on by mistake. So we're gonna have the engine auto start now. Engine shut down. It's gonna take maybe like a minute. Left and right, we have the engines off. So you can see the pressurizer start increasing here in the left and the right, and the right and the left engine. You can see the pressurizer from the APU. So we need only the fuel flow to the left and the right engine like this. So we're gonna have also the electric system reset when the engines are back on. You can see we have the fuel flow on. We can see the right and the left wing engines on like this. So we are ready almost for takeoff. We only need to set up the flight management computer here very quickly. So we're gonna set it menu FMC, the model position initialize LSCH, reference airport, initial reference, 0 fuel weight, gross weight, reserve fuel 25,300 feet, the cruise altitude, the cost index 100%, minimum fuel temperature, origin from this airport Lszh, back to this airport, runway 14. We have departure over here, select departure, Z2 alpha, and arrival. Arrival here, Lszh, Transnegria, Transamity, so you will have the legs, cancel the discontinuity, activate and execute. So we have only the flap set, 15 degrees, center of gravity, automatic, and the takeoff speed. So we are ready for takeoff now, like this. Parking brakes off and advance the thrust lever. We took the clearance for takeoff from the air traffic control. So we're going for takeoff. We have the runways open for us for takeoff. We have the runway clearance and takeoff clearance. So we use also this for steering. So parking brake set, we're gonna set also here the heading. We have the flap set, so we advance the thrust levers. We're gonna have the takeoff thrust here displayed, as you can see in all the modes here for takeoff. So we have also the outside view of the aircraft. We're gonna have, we are in the runway, ready for takeoff. So we're gonna have the takeoff view of the aircraft like this. Parking brakes off, advance the thrust levers to maximum takeoff and go. So we're gonna have 15 minutes more for this flight. We have 100 knots. Use also the rudder pedals. V1, we rotate. So we pitch up slightly and we go like this. So we retract the landing gear now. We have maximum takeoff thrust like this, as you can see. You can monitor here, we are 1,600 feet above the ground, 2,400 feet above the ground, but we are 4,000 feet above the sea level. The airspeed is 200 knots, the stall speed here, and the needle is moving up, so we climb with 6,300 feet per minute. The airspeed and the altitude, you can see the radar, also the flight plan here, the thrust. So this is after takeoff over here. We are located, so we need also cancel the warning and start our stream. So you can see you can use our manual controls here. You can see also the airspeed, the stall speed, the altitude, the rate of climb, and the mode. Right now maybe we're gonna use the flight level change mode. instead for higher rate of climb. Here we are. Also have a nicer view outside as we climb out over here. So this is the Boeing 777-300ZR. You can see the beautiful view of the Switzerland in Zurich. You can see the view here of the aircraft as we fly with about 600 kilometers an hour or 250 meters per second. Our airspeed right now. So hope you like the view of Zurich and the Switzerland here. This beautiful view. Also the galaxy, the star sign over here. You can see the stars and the galaxy. So we go back inside. Let's start steering here. Continue with the climb. Also have the legs here. So here we are, still climbing up, 16,000 feet right now. Constantly. Airspeed selected. So we're gonna have the first waypoint here and the second one. As you're gonna see, we're very close to the stall speed, so we need to avoid that. 19,000 feet. We need to decrease the rate of climb here as we keep climbing. Also make some turn to the right. Speeds up a little bit the aircraft. So you can see all the indications here. Here we are, the engine social indication, and now the waypoints as we fly. So we need to retract the flaps now. As we keep climbing, having a couple more aircraft around you. So we keep having, we have also the chemtrails now. On the contrary, you can see the frozen vapors here from the aircraft as we are flying here. 33,800 feet, and we have the frozen vapors, as you can see. So you have this beautiful view. And also keep climbing. You have the galaxy here. You have the Switzerland, the lake of the Switzerland, the Germany, the Bayern Munich, and the France on this side. So we go back. You can see as we climb, we almost reach the cruise altitude. So this is a frozen variable. This is the spacecraft view of the aircraft right now, and we have to go inside. For the rest of the flight, we are in the cruise level, so we start the turn now for the airport. And we need to increase the airspeed like this. Inside the flight. We can pitch down the aircraft as we turn. So we have here this view here, beautiful view as we fly. You can see the Germany, the Bayern Munich here, and the frozen vapors and the star sign. So we need to trim the aircraft a little bit to the cruise level. So this is the Boeing 777-300. We are flying with 980 kilometers an hour, 7,700 meters or 35,000 feet, above 980 kilometers an hour, 300 meters per second, 35,000 feet, 35,900. So we need to trim down a little bit. Also use the autopilot on. You can see where we are. We're gonna start descending. Now as we're gonna approach, you can see the autopilot on. We're gonna have also the altitude difference. We're gonna descend. And decrease the airspeed like this. So this is gonna make the aircraft come down for the landing. You're gonna see automatic settings here. And we are also having the speed brake like this. So we keep descending, keep having the handbrakes, beautiful view. So go back inside here as we descend. $18,000 feet. Transition altitude. Also the wall localizer here for the approach. So we're gonna have an approach here in the final steps. Decrease also the airspeed like this. Do some flash. So we're gonna have this nicer view here as we descend to the runway here, as you can see. Across these clouds. So we're gonna have also the Lszh localizer to you can see where we are right now. We have the Lszh localizer, all the information here. You can see we are aligned almost with the runway, a little bit more. The vertical glide slope, we need a little bit more to the right like this, also rather better. So we use manual and automatic thrust. So we need to increase the descent rate, so we stay a little bit high. So now we are on the right descent path here on our Lszh localizer. We are aligned. So we're gonna have a very smooth touchdown. Just let it down. Parking base and reverse thrust. So we just touched down and slowed down the aircraft in the runway, as you can see. So that was a very nice landing we just made it. You can see the nozzle is very safe, there's no breakage. Also the landing gear, both the left and right, there's no breakage of the gear over here or the tires. So all the systems are functioning normal. The aircraft is starting up the way it should be over here in the runway. So you can see the nozzle and the landing gear. So we can make another flight like this. So I'm going inside to turn off the thrust.